bag by bag, the women bring humus for the pit. The soil is poor. The plants are dying. Copra for trade, the work of the panini, gathering and husking thousands of coconuts. The women gathering the ripe nuts that have fallen and the men husking with all their speed. Here too we compete to show what we can do. But this is time away from making our living, building our canoes, our houses, working our taro. And then we cut out the clean white flesh, ready to be cured. We all give our time to this, many hours. The copra is laid out on our stone wharves to catch the sun. We built these wharves years ago for the copra trade. Soon the ship will be here. Tomorrow, next week, we never know, but we must be ready. More work for the trade. Fine mats carefully woven. It is company work, for no one works alone. But each woman will sell her own and give the money to her husband. The pandanus must be of the highest grade, more carefully cured in the fire and dried in the sun. That's what the traders want. Before the Americans came, we made our mats and our belts for ourselves, for our own use. But now the Americans buy what we make and even tell us of new things to make. And everyone, even those that have too little land to raise copra, can work for the trade and get some of the things they need. The finest fibers come from the young leaves of the coconut. They are bleached and dyed and made into belts and hats. Some to wear on Sunday, but most to sell to the traders. Fine fiber belts for the trade. For what user, what wearer, in what land. A fan for the trade, made with feathers and tortoiseshell. This is easy work, not like making mats where a woman must bend over for hours at a time. We can finish a fan in 3 or 4 days, and if the fan pleases the trader, he may give as much as $3 for a single fan. We learned it from the Marshall Islands. Isn't it pretty? This is what the traders want. And the work goes on late into the night. It is getting time for the ship. Soon the ship must come. Ship day and the work is done. The ship has come and we lift our fronds to catch the wind. All day we rode to and from the ship. The traders are here. What will they tell us? What have they brought us? For months we have waited. We bring them our copra, our dried coconut meat, for their oil, their soap, and their food. They will make good use of it. They always take our copra, all that we can make, and then they come ashore. Our island must look its best. We are proud of our island, and these are big men. We look up to these big men. They know many things. Their country is rich and strong. We give them our welcome. We fly their flag and sing their song. The traders work fast. The ship must leave by nightfall. They have weighed our copra, and now they quickly measure our mats. The women bring everything they have made, and watch and wait, while the traders decide what the things are worth. It's the copra money that counts, but not everyone has copra to sell. Some of us have too little land to raise copra, and must look to our women with their mats and fans for the money we need. What shall we buy with the money we get? A lamp to light the night, an iron to press our clothes for church. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what the ship means to us. But this is not the same as the exchange in our paninis, the sharing at our kamatips, working together, building a canoe and thatching a roof. For those that have much copra are the ones who will buy. Those that have little land can only admire. And each year there are more and more things to buy, more and more things that we learn to need and want. That is why our coconut orchards crowd our land, crowd our breadfruit, taro, bananas, and all the other foods we grow. But still, this must be, for copra is money. So, there goes Melliton with his adopted boy. He didn't get much. He hasn't much copra land. No wife, only half a man. That's Melliton's land. That's how much he has. And that's Schwab's, the richest man on Mwoakilloa. It wasn't always like this. Long ago, the land was shared by everyone. It belonged to the king, and we worked it together. Then came the great typhoon about 200 years ago. The trees and the plants of our island were destroyed, and the people starved and warred among themselves. The three families that lived divided up the land. And as they had children, they redivided the land. But still, everyone shared. Then came the copra trade, and the coconut land became important. And now the boundaries are important. And every man guards his boundaries and his land against his neighbor. Brothers are afraid of brothers. There isn't enough land for all. A man must have land if he is to have money and respect. And because there is too little land, there is too much trouble. Here he comes with a boundary marker, the coconut sapling. Sheshi is afraid his neighbor might crowd in and cheat him. And he plants a new coconut tree on the edge of his land, a double line of trees to mark his boundary. And here is Lauren planting a double row of taro. He plants his taro close to that of his neighbor to keep his neighbor from pushing in. But that's no way to plant taro. Those taro will never grow big. See, these are planted right. Look at their size. Taro needs 4 feet between the rows. We have a law that a man owns the land under his breadfruit tree. Many years ago, Schwab planted a tree close to the boundary of Stephen's land. Schwab is rich, a big man on Mwoakilloa. And Stephen watched this tree of Schwab's reach out over his land and shade his taro patch. He protested, but Schwab is a big man. In anger, Stephen slashed the tree. Schwab has plenty of land. Why does he crowd on mine? I slashed the tree. How are we to live? Look at Harry. Joram bit his ear in a quarrel over land. Can we go on like this? But no one will listen to Stephen. Stephen's family is not poor. He is the oldest son and should get much of his father's land. But he quarreled with his father, and now his father threatens to give him nothing. Stephen tries to be one of the Panini. He cannot tell his true feelings. And almost every day he brings gifts of food to win his father. But the old man is bitter. He will always favor his younger son, Aaron. Stephen has lost his place in the Panini and lost his place in Mwoakilloa. He is a man without land. There is nothing he can do. And here's the home of old man Shimeon at the other end of the island. He's a different kind of man, lives by himself, away from the village. And this is Pipe, his new wife. She does most of the work for the Panini. She has to. Shimeon's son is older than she is, but he is too crippled to be much help. And Shimeon is too sick. He has the sickness that never goes away. Pipe had to marry Shimeon. She had no dowry land. Her father was too poor. The old man sits all day making cord, woman's work. And here are the daughters of Joram, winding rope. They know how to do many things, but they have no dowry land. Ruth is 16, old enough to marry. Apashag is 15. Will she marry next year? To whom? With what? And here is Shoash. He had no father and no land. He helped Schwab, the rich man. And another day Schwab will come and help him. Shoash works hard. He is a skillful worker. Yet he'll never become rich. He'll never have land. His mother had a little dowry land. There is enough for them to live on. But now Shoash is married and has children. What are we doing here in this poor land of Mwoakilloa? Should we leave Mwoakilloa, our home, and sail to Ponape? That's a beautiful island, large and rich. Yes, and live among the mud flats of the village on Ponape, settled by our forefathers when the land was free, hemmed in under the cliff, cut off from the open sea, where even the church doesn't look like a church. But even this land is no longer free. We could work for wages on Ponape. They'll always hire carpenters from Mwoakilloa. But the wages are small, enough to pay our board, but not enough to buy land. Carpenters of Mwoakilloa, people of Mwoakilloa, but not the land of Mwoakilloa. No, we must stay here on Mwoakilloa, each one of us working as we have always worked, with what we have. But will it always be this way? Will it always be that if a man's father is poor, he too must be poor for all his days? Is there no other land, good land to which a man can go? Is copra the only thing we can trade? What about our skills? Our women trade their mats and fans, but there must be more than this. And what of our children? Will they find a way, a new way? We wonder.
Call this toll-free